Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Y&E podcast. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comments, and we want to hear from you. And one topic we want to discuss is the news that broke a few days ago about the U.S. revoking some previously approved visas without notice. And it looks like they're within their right to revoke visas for people visiting their countries. So there's a few outlets out there reporting that the visa cancellations or leaving families stranded and having to, change their plans abruptly. And it looks like the embassy is citing Title 22 of the federal regulations that says that if new information becomes available after a visa has been issued, then they can revoke the visas. So if you've been previously approved and they find out that you've done something that is against the visa application rules, you can still get denied. So you want to talk about it and see how this is going to impact people, especially Nigerians. And I know this is not just only affecting Nigerians. I saw a post about it earlier about Bangladesh citizens experiencing the same thing. So it looks like it's all over the place. So you have to be careful what you put out there. And if they're going through your social media feeds and they see that you support terrorists or you're part of any terrorist organization, your visas can be revoked without you knowing. And maybe whenever you're ready to travel, you go to the airport and they tell you your visa is no longer valid. Then you'll be shocked. So what do you think about this new development that we're just hearing about?
I think is another way of Trump administration trying to, quote unquote, make America safe, put America first. I think they are citing citing national security that they need to protect Americans. For me, would I say I don't have a skin in the game? I mean, I still have people back home that would like to come in, but I honestly and truly believe that it's entirely up to the United States or any country for that matter to determine if they want to allow you into their country or not. So it's entirely up to them. In fact, they can all easily revoke your visa without explanation. Just like the way you go to embassy for visa interview, they will just deny you. They do not have to explain to you why they denied you. If they want to do you a favor, they will give you like a blanket statement, a vague statement, just like that. So in this case, I think just like you pointed out, I think the United States is within their right to revoke some of those visas. And the visa is even small. I think they are even stripping people of their citizenship if they find out that you got that citizenship under, false pretense. Maybe you lied on your application or you didn't quite get something right. And then at later date, they determined that, you wasn't forthcoming with the truth. They've been stripping people of their citizenship, not to talk of even visa. And I think this is just a wake up call for some of the countries that has not been very good or in the good book of Trump. I think this is a wake up call for them to focus on their country and then invest massively in human capital development, create jobs, create enabling environment for people to try, for people to do businesses, and just basically try to put things in place to discourage people from, trying to japa or trying to travel abroad. I think for Nigeria, this is an opportunity that they can actually utilize to put some necessary infrastructures in place to discourage the youth from moving out of the country. The world has really become a global village. You do not really have to be in the US to work for a US company. You do not really have to live in the US to make money from the US. You can literally make money from the US from the comfort of your home. So I think this is a wake up call for countries to begin to put their country first, or unless they want to retaliate, put another measure and begin to strip Americans off of their visa to Nigeria. Maybe they can do that. But as it is, America do not owe anybody any explanation. They can just go ahead and remove those visas without explanation.
Yeah, that's definitely correct. They don't owe anyone. The US visa is not a right. It's definitely a privilege. That's what Marco Rubio said about the situation a few days ago. So I think it's important that leaders all across the world start to develop their own country. I mean, when you pull resources from your country, you go overseas, you go to the US, you go to the UK to invest in the economy, and you don't invest those resources that you got from your own country. You don't invest it in your country. You invest it overseas, and you wonder why your country is not being developed. You know, they when we talk about leadership, not only need to hold the leaders accountable, we not only need to hold the politicians accountable, but if you're also private individuals as well, right? Invest your money in your country so that way you're not affected when changes like this happening all over the world. I mean, I think a few weeks ago, Canada announced they basically tagged APC and PDP a terrorist organization. You know, things like this will continue to happen until our leaders start thinking about a long-term strategy to develop our country. But if they still want to continue to invest their resources overseas, they will continue to be embarrassed like this. You know, when you go out, trying to fly out, and you're being told your visa is no longer valid, you'll be shocked. You'll be confused. But it is what it is. It's happening all over the place. And then, like I said earlier, it's not only affecting Nigerians, it's affecting other countries out there. So this should be a wake-up call to all of our politicians, all of our business people out there to make sure to reinvest the resources back in the economy. And the government also need to make the environment, they need to make the economy friendly to investors, friendly to business owners, because businesses develop economy. You know, there's little that the government can do. The government can give them a soft landing, you know, give them regulations that are soft, that won't be too hard on their businesses. But in this situation where if you don't know anyone, it's difficult to be able to start a business, grow a business from scratch, especially in an economic like Nigerians, it'll be difficult. I just want to call on all of our leaders to make sure that they continue to develop the economy, continue to develop the country, so that people that want to stay can continue to enjoy the benefit of being a Nigerian citizen. You know, you can't control what other countries out there are doing, but you can control what's going on in your economy. You can focus on production locally. You can focus on making basic amenities accessible to everybody, you know. So once you do that, you definitely get the support of the populace. They will continue to support you. And it's not like we don't have the money to put all these amenities in place that will make people want to stay, that will make doctors to want to stay, that will make other professionals to want to stay. We have the money, but mismanagement of funds, corruptions has led us to where we are today. And it is just sad to think about it. I recently also saw a post talking about, that majority of Nigerians don't make 250,000 naira a month, which is the truth. You know, if you're living in a high cost of area or high cost of living area, 250 a month is not gonna take you anywhere. But if you live in a country or in a village, yeah, it'll probably take you farther than it will take you in the city. So these are the things our government, these are the things our leaders need to prioritize instead of focusing on elephant project that they will put a pause on in the next few months once the funds have been disbursed. So maybe our government needs to start thinking deeply and thinking about a long-term strategy to better the economy and also better the lives of the people.
Yeah, I mean, you said it accurately. And when we talk about government, we're not just, focusing on the president or the federal government and state government. Even our senators, our House of Reps members, our state assembly members, they are part of the government. The local government chairman, the councillors, all of them are part of the government. I think those changes or the changes or how we want Nigeria to be in the next several years, I think it should begin with those, people. They should set the trend, and then, when they set the trend, people will follow or the masses will follow. I was this evening. I was sitting down in the garage scrolling through Facebook, and I saw Saraki Dixon. Saraki Dixon is a former commissioner of police, governor of Bayelsa State. His two children. He attended the graduation of his two children in London. It looks like, in fact, I was telling my friend, I'm like, Could it be that this is just like a competition among the political class? Let's, see where your children will go to school and graduate from. Almost all the political class for almost for the past 3 or 4 years, a lot of them have been graduating from foreign schools, especially London. No wonder they don't pay attention to our Nigerian, education system. ASU is threatening to go to strike. Do you really think there will be any need for them to sit down and negotiate, with ASU when they know that they don't even use those facilities? So these are some of the things we mean when we say government should put things in place. If we have good schools, if we have a good lecturers or good professors, we have a good curriculum for the schools, we have a good maintenance culture, we have a positive attitude to work, positive attitude to really help the students pass the classes and then actually know what they study. I think people wouldn't be, struggling to secure visas and going up and down looking for FX, to go to school in America, to go to school in London, thereby seeking for visas. And then some of these visas are now being revoked. So I think these are some of the, low hanging fruits, according to you, that the government can actually attend to quickly versus embarking on those elephant projects, projects that will take several years without completion. Some of these projects, will outlive some of us that even after we are gone, some of these projects will not be completed. So why bother starting this project when you can actually address some critical issues affecting mostly our education system, our food security, and even our security as a nation? I think those are some of the places they can channel this, our money to avoid all this embarrassment from these developed countries.
Yeah, that makes sense. Very well said. I believe it was Mr. Dele Fautimi that said that it's only a crazy person that we have the means to leave Nigeria and would not leave. It takes a special patriotic mindset to be able to remain in Nigeria, especially if things are not working and you have the means to travel out. Yeah. I mean, doctors are leaving in droves, other professionals are leaving in droves, young folks that are supposed to be developing the economy, they're supposed to be in the IT sector, changing things up, are leaving because there are so many issues with insecurity. I tell people that if you have a business that's making you decent money, there's no reason for you to travel out or to Japan other than maybe if you're worried about insecurity. And a lot of people are worried about insecurity too, but if the government can fix the insecurity, then they can at least encourage people that are doing well to want to stay and not want to relocate. I mean, I'm sure tons of people are doing well, legitly making good money in the country, but it is far few in between. Most people are struggling. Most people cannot make ends meet, and without the policies that are being rolled out on a daily basis, that are not favoring the common people. It looks like the government just wants to take from the people and not give anything back. I mean, they're supposed to provide basic amenities like security. An average Nigeria is their own security guy, is their own power generating company. And it's just tiring, especially if you've traveled out of the country and you've seen how other countries with little to no resources compared to what we have in Nigeria, if you see how those countries are run, you'll be surprised why our leaders are not taking initiatives and making things happen.
Yeah, I mean, to even think that a lot of them they frequent here, they travel to America, they travel to England, they travel around Europe, and they see some of these things. They see how the system works, how the system actually supposed to function, and how we actually function. And there is no political will to replicate those things back home. They keep sending their children to abroad, to foreign schools, getting second citizenship in case Nigeria collapse, so that they can dip. Well, I think that is unpatriotic. I think it's time that they need to actually have a rethink about their decisions. But I don't blame them. So they have the means; they can do whatever they please with their means. No, but I blame the Nigerian people that keep voting them into power. Let us know what you think. What do you think about Trump? Administration revoking already existing visas. Do you think they are doing the right thing? Mind you, they have the prerogative to give you visa or not. So what do you think? Let us know in the comment section, and then we'll see you on the other side.